All right, as mentioned, breaking moments ago, the Supreme Court with a decision that will allow the Trump administration to move ahead with their plans to cut the federal workforce, at least for now. Justice correspondent David Spott, give us the backstory here, reporting live from Washington. Hi, David.
Hi, Martha. A nice Tuesday afternoon win for the Trump administration. And it's funny because the justices normally are on their summer recess right now. Doesn't mean they don't work behind the scenes, but these justices have been busy because of these executive orders and the way they've made their way through the legal process. But this right now is a order from the Supreme Court essentially saying that a San Francisco judge who put a stop to the Trump administration from cutting several federal agencies, they're saying that the Trump administration, in fact, right now can continue forward as the case plays out on its merits. So essentially back in May, several different agencies sued. They said that the Trump administration wanted to make cuts at the Departments of Agriculture, Commerce, Defense, Energy, Health and Human Services, Homeland Security, HUD, Justice, Labor, State Treasury, and Transportation, pretty much all of them. Now the Supreme Court is giving the Trump administration victory some almost 6 months into the president's second term here, saying that they can go forward with these reductions in forces. You may remember that this was part of the DOGE effort when Elon Musk was still hanging out around the White House. But President Trump today, Martha, during the cabinet meeting, said that some of those DOGE moves made sense, were important. And this was a campaign promise and a promise really of this presidency to cut some of these federal agencies. And now this administration can feel vindicated from the Supreme Court as they move forward and make some of these cuts, Martha.
Yeah, just a couple of quick questions for you with regard to whether or not this comes from the Supreme Court's decision that one judge cannot overrule a presidential agenda item. And secondly, what is the impact on whether or not the executive branch, the President of the United States, can cut funding that Congress has approved for these agencies prior?
So I'm going to take the first one first because I know the answer to that much better. The Supreme Court did come down, as you mentioned, with an opinion recently before they did break for their summer recess, albeit they're still working, and said that nationwide injunctions, which were these nationwide pauses, those no longer can go to the level where they did before, where a judge in San Francisco can change a policy for someone that's living in Boston, Massachusetts. So likely this is something that plays into that because this was a federal judge in San Francisco that said that the Trump administration cannot fulfill this executive order, which affected people that worked at all these different federal agencies. The second part, I don't want to give the wrong answer. I'm not 100% sure. I'm still reading through this Supreme Court opinion. We didn't expect this to come out today, or I should call it a Supreme Court order, rather. But certainly, Martha, this is something that the Trump administration is going to tout. They've been looking to make cuts in these agencies, and really things have been on pause for this Justice Department and this administration in many ways because they've been tied up with these lower courts, with the district courts, with the circuit courts, and then the Supreme Court delivered them that gift just a couple of weeks ago and said that these nationwide injunctions in many cases must not go forward.
Yeah.